Welcome to BodyBags. I'm your Thursday reviewer, Chris, from Chris B Movies. You know my name is Chris, and you know I love B Movies. Alright, I have a film from 2010, a very rare one. You can only get this from going to Noose Hill Entertainment and buying it right off their site. I think there's like 50 copies or so left of this. But you won't find it on Amazon or anyplace else. Just go to Noose Hill Entertainment if it's something you want to see based on my review. And it is called The Super. And I have the Red Scare Edition. Oh yeah. Boom, here's the back of it. Alright, so I'm going to get right now into the synopsis of the film. Dimitri Callis plays a guy named George Rossi, who immigrated to the U.S. and served in the Vietnam War. Talk about people not getting much respect for fighting the Vietnam War. Because they didn't, let me put it that way. So he fought in the Vietnam War, and he's the owner of an apartment complex, where he's also the super. And he has his family living there. He has a wife and daughter who are very loving. There's something very mysterious, though, about his daughter that we don't know. And we're going to find out at the end of the film. So there's a big mystery there, and a big mystery about his whole family. But he's a loving father and husband. Now, what drove me a little bananas in this film is that when you have such a loving family, like his wife's in a wheelchair, and his daughter is basically a loner. She's always by herself and always with her family, and never goes out and does anything with her friends, and just stays in the apartment. He goes out a lot and does things with friends and doesn't spend enough time with his family. I'm a family guy. I can't be apart from my wife because it drives me off the handle. And, you know, if guys are married to go out with their friends, that's okay. But this guy's always out. He's hardly ever with his family. His family's always like, why don't you spend time with us? And he's always like, oh, I gotta go meet up with a friend, or I gotta do this, I have to do that. So it's like he never spends time with them. But when he's with them, he's very loving. And he's a very loving father and husband. But then you see through the course of the film how he goes a little mental. See, the Vietnam War, when you fight in a war like that and you kill people, develops a lot of mental health issues, PTSD. And this guy's really screwed up from the war. He tries his best to be that family man. But he's also, the superintendent, and you have to, and the people living in this apartment complex, very odd group of people. You got this big, huge bodybuilder guy, always lifting weights, and is an overall prick. And he's also does this like funky little kung fu things. He goes wah wah wah. He has awful form, by the way. He brings a lot of the humor in this film. And then there's this biracial couple who are pretty to the point. They don't celebrate Christmas, and that kind of offends George. And he tries to even buy him a tree after they tell him, look, it's our religion does not, we don't celebrate Christmas based on our religion. But he still buys him a tree and brings it in his house and brings it in their house, and says, no, let me get you a tree. To which they were pretty upset about that. And then there's this college girl, and she has a really bad attitude towards everything, and is instrumental in killing one of her neighbor's dogs. Very odd. And then there's Olga, a Russian lady, who has does things in her spare time that are kind of out of the ordinary and a bit malicious, as you'll find out during the course of the film. So again, you get into the lives of these people who live in this apartment complex, and of course George himself, who is a superintendent, and he feels he doesn't get the respect he needs from a lot of the people living there. Like, they're always using him to fix things and stuff, and never have time for conversation, and never really respect him. He figures that if he buys someone a tree and brings it in the house, even if their religion doesn't, calls for that, they don't celebrate Christmas, it's still a big disrespect, and they're disrespecting me. I'm too nice to these people, and they treat me like crap, and so that's that's basically what it is. This film is, and you're gonna find out that at some point, the people in the apartment complex are getting killed off one by one, but it never hides the fact who the killer is. Well in the first half of the film who the killer is. Actually, killers. It's a twosome. And it never hides that fact. So it's not like a mystery through the end and then you find out in the end. No, it's halfway through the film, and then you get caught up in the lives of these two people who are killing off the people in the apartment complex. That's all I'm going to tell you because I don't want to ruin too much. if I feel like I'm going to spoil something, I'm going to yell spoiler, and just to inform you that if you do decide to buy this film, that there's spoilers coming. Oh yeah. So anyways, this is Grindhouse to the core. Even, this disc is grainy, has scratches and tears, just like you would see in an old Grindhouse film. This looks like something that they would show on 42nd Street in one of those old, dingy, dirty movie spots down on 42nd Street, a grimy place, grimy old theater that, watches that shows old Grindhouse films. This is one of those films that would appear on a midnight showing. Oh yeah. Dimitri Callis, anytime he talks or says anything, it is absolutely hysterical. His just whole persona and the way he talks and the way he overacts in a lot of scenes just brings a lot of the humor to this. And that big bodybuilding guy is freaking hysterical. He's your typical lift, and prick, total prick bodybuilder guy, And then he does these weird little like kung fu moves. Absolutely hysterical. If you've seen this film, you know what I mean. And Olga, played by Manoush. I don't know what else she's ever been in, but John Waters would love this lady. She looks like someone who could star alongside Divine and Edith Massey in one of John Waters' trashy films. Her dialogue, too, is hysterical, and her little side activities, so to speak, were also quite amusing. She's also big into making snuff films. Oh, yeah, I think you know where I'm going with this. Yeah. But the dialogues between George and her, oh my god, absolutely friggin' hysterical. It had me on the floor laughing. Yeah, I mean, it's Grindhouse to the core. You know from this review if you're into like old school like Grindhouse type films, and it's filmed from 2010, and it really has that old school 70s Grindhouse feel to it. So you're gonna know right off the bat if you want to see this movie. You'll know if you want to see it. If you're not into Grindhouse films, you won't be into this film. Also, Necro. Now he's a rapper. I'm not too familiar with his work, but he plays Detective Sardusky. And at first you feel it's a detective trying to solve the murders in the apartment complex, but it turns out, well, he has another job. That's totally different from being a detective. He's quite a malicious individual as well. The scenes with him are pretty outrageous because he's not a great actor. A lot of dialogue's hokey. There's not a lot of great acting in this film. It's Grindhouse to the core. And again, it's trashy, it's dirty. You feel like taking a shower after watching this film. A lot of the dialogue is freaking hysterical, though. And a lot of the characters are, like, off the top ridiculous. I think the best actor in this film is the guy who played George's friend. I think he's the best actor in this whole film. And, well, he gets shot anyway. Oh, spoiler! Sorry. But anyway, if it's something you want to see, go to New Cell Entertainment. I think they have about 50 copies left, and yeah. I think they had this at Cinema Wasteland. They were selling them at Cinema Wasteland as well. I've never gone to a Cinema Wasteland, but I hear from some friends who went down that, yeah, they were selling this film at Cinema Wasteland. So if you ever go down to Cinema Wasteland, you might see this film, and you might want to pick it up. This one was cheap, only $10. It's not on Blu-ray. Only on DVD. And like I say, it's total Grindhouse print. Sorry about the dogs. They bark at everything, so no matter where I go in the house, I'm gonna hear them barking. But anyways, check it out if you want to. I'm gonna give it a rating. There's something that really drove me nuts about this film. Like him not spending a whole lot of time with his family. Even though when he was with him, he was so loving. And a lot of the killings were kind of tough, and a lot of the way people were treated in the film were kind of rough. I mean, I know it's just a movie. It's only a movie. But some scenes were kind of tough to watch for me, based on some past stuff. But anyway, yeah. I mean, check it out. I think the gore was good, and some of the killings were really rather decent. I think if you're into real killings and gore, you might enjoy it. Some gore scenes were hokey, a lot of hokey gore scenes, but some were good too, as well. Some of the things George did in this film were freaking outrageous and hysterical, and it made you just drop down laughing. And some scenes just made you cringe, and whatever effect you get from this film, you know, it's on you, based on your experiences. My experience is different from yours, so you may get a different experience from this film. But anyways, if you want a hokey, grindhousey type film, check out The Super. I'm gonna rate it from 1 to 100. I give it an 80. I give it passing. It was fun. Never overwhelm its stay. It's 100 minutes, so an hour and 40 minutes. It never overwhelmed its stay. It flowed very well. And like I say, I'm into grindhousey type films, so I like movies that flow well like that. And any grindhouse film can flow well for me because I just enjoy it. And it felt like I was in a grindhouse theater watching it because, of all the scratches and tears and everything in the film. Yeah, it was fun. So anyways, yeah, you may give it a higher rating. Movies are subjective. You're not wrong for liking what you like and not liking what you don't like. So anyways, hey, check out the other reviewers. They all do an awesome job. Oh yeah, next week we got Theme Week, Paul Naschy. And if you're a Paul Naschy fan, you need to tune in to some good reviews from some great films. And you're going to see what I'm going to bring to the table. Naschy-wise right here next week. And hope you enjoyed this review. Subscribe to BodyBags and, of course, Crispy Movies. Because, again, you never know what you're going to get. And watch those late-night horror movies. Read up on your latest Fright Mags. But don't forget to tune in to another episode of BodyBags. I'll see you next week. We're going to Nashicize it, baby. Oh, Naschy reviews coming your way. All right, later.